Welcome to aminacademy.com. In human anatomy and physiology, let us discuss about small intestine. Your small intestine, that is a small bowel, is an organ in your gastrointestinal tract and is part of your digestive system. It breaks down food and fluid to absorb nutrients and water. More than 90% of the nutrients and water your body receives from food comes from the digestive processes that your small intestine drives. Your small intestine, that is a small bowel, is an important part of your digestive system. It connects your stomach to your large intestine. You rely on your small intestine to extract nutrients from the food you eat. Your small intestine breaks food down, absorbs nutrients and water, moves food along your gastrointestinal tract. You may not have a reason to think about your small intestine as it chums through the continuous job of digesting what you eat and drink. But there are several common conditions and diseases that can affect small intestine functions. Symptoms from them can make you feel miserable and disrupt your daily life. Understanding how your small intestine works can help to keep it in good shape and running smoothly. Now, further talk about small intestine. Small intestine is a continuous with the stomach at the pyloric sphincter. The small intestine is about 2.5 centimeter in diameter, a little over 5 meters long, and leads into the large intestine at the ileocecal wall. The small intestines comprises three continuous parts: duodenum, next is jejunum, and ileum. These parts we'll discuss later. Structure of the small intestine. The walls of the small intestines are composed of the four layers of the tissue shown. Some modifications of the peritoneum and mucosa membrane lining are described. Next, what is the blood supply? How the blood supplies to small intestine? The superior mesenteric artery supplies the whole of the small intestine. Venous drainage is by the superior mesenteric vein that join other veins to form the portal vein. The portal vein contains a high concentration of absorbed nutrients, and this blood passes through the liver before entering the hepatic veins and ultimately into the inferior vena cava. Intestinal juice. About 1500 ml of a intestinal juice are secreted daily by the glands of the small intestine. It is slightly basic, that is alkaline, and consists of water, mucus, and mineral salts. Function of the small intestine. The functions are onward movement of the contents by peristalsis, which is increased by parasympathetic stimulation. Secretion of intestinal juices also increased by parasympathetic stimulation. Completion of chemical digestion of carbohydrates, protein, and fats in the enterocytes of the villi. Protection against the infection by microbes that have survived the antimicrobial action of the hydrochloric acid in the stomach by both solitary and aggregated lymph follicles. Secretion of the hormones. that is cholecytosinin, absorption of nutrients, chemical digestion in the small intestine. When acid chimes passes into the small intestine, it is mixed with the pancreatic juices, bile, and intestinal juices, and is in contact with the enterocytes of the villi. The digestion of all nutrients is completed. Carbohydrates are broken down to monosaccharides. Proteins are broken down to amino acids. Fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice is secreted by the exocrine pancreas and enters the duodenum at the duodenal papilla. It consists of water, mineral salts, enzymes, and inactive enzymes precursors including typosignon, typosinogen, chymotrypsinogen. Pancreatic juice is basic, alkaline, pH value around 8, because it can it contains significant quantities of bicarbonate ions which are basic, alkaline in solution. When acid stomach contents enter the duodenum, they are mixed with the pancreatic juice and bile, and the pH is raised to between 6 and 8. Now we'll discuss further detail about small intestine and its structure. Small intestine is a long coiled tube in the digestive system where most nutrients and water absorption occurs. It is divided into the three parts: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, and is specialized for its function with a massive surface area due to folds, villi, and microvilli. Its primary roles include finishing the chemical breakdown of food and absorbing the resulting nutrients into the bloodstream or lymphatic system. About anatomy, location extends from the stomach to the large intestine. Length approximately 6.5 meters, nearly 21 feet long, but its length can vary. Parts: duodenum, the first and shortest section is duodenum, which receives digestive juices from the pancreas and liver to start chemical digestion. Duodenum is the first and shortest part of the small intestine, named for its approximate length of 12 finger width, nearly 25 to 30 centimeter. It connects the stomach to the jejunum and is C-shaped structure where the majority of chemical digestion occurs. Its main functions include mixing chyme from the stomach with digestive enzymes from the pancreas and liver, neutralizing gastric acid with alkaline secretion, and being a major site for absorbing iron and folate. Next one, jejunum. The middle section where the most nutrients absorption into the blood occurs, that is jejunum. The jejunum is the middle section of the small intestine where most nutrients absorption occurs. Its anatomy is characterized by a rich blood supply, thicker walls, and a deep red color. Physiological Physiologically, it uses muscular contractions to mix food with digestive enzymes and absorbs the majority of digested carbohydrates, proteins, and water through its highly folded lining, which is covered in villi. Next is ileum. The final section that absorbs nutrients and passes waste to the large intestine. The ileum is the final and longest section of the small intestine, responsible for absorbing remaining nutrients like vitamin B12 and bile salts, and it connects to the large intestine at the ileocecal walls. It is located primarily in the lower right abdomen and features thinner walls, more lymphoid tissues, that is Peyer's patches, and a greater abundance of Paneth cells than the jejunum. Food spends the most time in the ileum, where segmentation slows and peristalsis, peristalsis moves waste towards the large intestine. What about the anatomy? The structure, the inner lining has folds, villi and microvilli that dramatically increases the surface area for efficient absorption. Physiology, that is functions. Digestion continues the breakdown of food, breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into smaller absorbable molecules. Absorption absorbs over 90% of nutrients, water, and electrolytes from food, which then enters the bloodstream or lymphatic system. Hormone production produces hormones that helps regulate digestion and appetite. Immune functions act as a barrier against bacteria in the gut. So far, we discussed about in human anatomy and physiology. In that, we'll discuss about small intestine. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.